Just wait for that to come up and confirm that we are. I will wait a few seconds. There we go. There's a notification. Welcome everyone to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and this is round 7, I do believe, of Division 1 Championship, or round 8. I can't particularly remember off the top of my head, but I'm joined here for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix by a new co-commentator, debutant co-commentator, the third one we've had this season, and that is Cameron, who is joining me today, an absolute expert in the field of F1 and a very skilled racer, if I say so. Yeah, great to have him alongside me.
Yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to commentating on this and hopefully bringing my banter from the comments and live stream to commentating.
Yeah, it is a big upgrade, but I'm sure you'll smash it. And keep an eye on the comments. I think we've already got a comment, although that might just been from you. I don't know. But yeah, Abu Dhabi, of course, it's usually the championship finale, and usually the season finale. But of course, we're doing a different grid this year to the traditional grid, and we've seen some really good championship deciders here. 2010, where Vettel won his first of 4 multiple world championships. We also saw in 2014 Lewis Hamilton clinch his first championship in the Mercedes with a really good battle with Nico Rosberg. We were unfortunately sort of robbed by because of Rosberg's mechanical problems those days. And then in 2016, Rosberg clinched his one and only world championship. But since then, it hasn't been that exciting in terms of a race, and certainly it hasn't decided any championships. They've usually been decided before then. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those circuits, personally, I'm not a huge fan of, but usually the circuits that aren't the best, these guys in Division 1 still make a really good go of it. And we'll definitely have some entertainment here, I'm sure.
Yeah, they really do make it entertaining.
Indeed, yeah. And yeah, you got a front row seat this time.
Yeah.
A live
looking
view.
forward to this.
Just see. Oh. Just see. Have you got any comments yet, Brandon, Cameron?
I don't know. I'm still waiting for it to pop up for me.
Is it not? Just type in Velocity International League if it hasn't.
Yeah,
because it's up there for me.
I'm on the channel, but
That's poor. That's poor. Evening, guys. That was from Jonathan Cox. Evening, Jonathan, and good luck in your race today.
there we go.
Jonathan got pole, I think, last time out in Hungary, if I recall correctly.
I think he did, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure he did anyway. Yeah, we're 8:01 now, so I think we're just having a little delay at the moment. But I think we're just waiting for a few more people at the moment. I think we're waiting for at least one more driver. And we're waiting for Blaze, I think, at the moment. So, little delay to the start, so I'm afraid you're going to have to hear our voices a little bit longer with no action. As you can see here, the grid.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for Young Lights and Dan Murphy, actually, to pick a car at the moment as well. So, not 100% sure what's going on. We're seeing some activity in chat. But oh, we've just lost someone as well. Isn't the ideal start. Young Lights has picked his car though, so that's good to see. And yeah. So in terms of the championship, there's a 1-point gap at the moment, with Andreas in the lead at the moment. If I just get that up a second. Yeah, so Andreas is in the lead of the championship. Got that 1-point gap over Droftas at the moment. And Total P is only 11 points back. And then only a further 5 points, Young Lights. So it really is a 4-horse race at the moment. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that if that continues, because we thought at one point with Australia, Andreas pulled out a bit of a lead with the crashes of Total P's and Droftas. Young Lights also didn't have a great time in Hungary, so he'll be looking to improve at the moment. His championship bid, currently sitting in 4th. He has got a race win though under his belt, but yeah, we're trying to keep updated. Oh, we're still waiting on one person at the moment, so I do apologise for the delay. Evening Droftas, evening Sam. Good of you to join me. I'm currently doing Cameron's job at the moment by checking the comments. It's pretty poor. I know.
Just loaded it up. Come on.
No, I'm joking. Okay, we are readying up now.
Ready.
We are readying up now. So there we go. We've got a grid of 18. So Q1 is going to be actually necessary. So I get an invite there from Hilker in case I disconnect. Hopefully that won't happen because touch wood, ever since my internet was fixed, it actually has been fixed and it's been good. And
you never know with your internet though.
Yeah, you never know, and you just never know with this league and this and my luck as well half the time. But no, I'm confident, and I'm confident this will be a good race as well as we go into qualifying and Q1. I think there's very little chance of rain here. We've had rain in most qualifying sessions so far, but I have a feeling the desert of the UAE is unlikely to have any rain.
Hopefully it doesn't, so we get to see the days pull out some very quick lap times. See what they can do.
Also worth remembering, this is still the only track on the calendar today. When it was first introduced, actually, we already had the night race of Singapore on the calendar, but this was the first race that that transitioned from daytime to nighttime. But realistically, it's evening to nighttime. But it is very spectacular. And of course, there's that section that goes under the hotel in Sector 3, and you also have all the yachts. It's like a different version of Monaco in terms of the rich and the wealthy, but you can actually overtake here. Although, as I said, it's not particularly a popular track, I don't think, with drivers. I certainly know in real life as well, but I mean, personally for me, I'm not very good at this track, but of course that doesn't matter. It's about what the drivers can pull off today. And yeah, so qualifying, we are going to have our first full dry qualifying obviously here today in the desert. And as usual, as I just get up the lap data and the track map, we're going to spectate the first person who goes out on track. As I have a horrific voice break, and I'm gonna get roasted in the comments. And you know what? Quite rightly, I won't blame anyone for roasting me there. That was a horrific voice break. As I believe that's Young Lights going out first, but he's been beaten because Energetics is out and a racing point, and that is the racing point of Milan. And that tunnel section of the pit lane is really beautiful as well. But it's very easy.
Energetic's been disqualified for the session. What's happened
Wow,
now?
for blocking the pit lane. Is he crashed in the pit lane? That is bizarre. That is absolutely bizarre. I was about to say it's actually quite an easy pit lane to lose your front wing because you're going underneath that tunnel and it's quite tight and narrow, but wow. I have no idea what happened there with Energetics. He will be fuming. He's starting from the back. Absolutely bizarre. So, but anyway, we'll go back to Milan for now. I wonder if Energetics just says oops in the chat. I'd quite like to know what happened there, as Milan has a little spin.
So, what happened there, Energetics?
He's confused as well. He's not sure what happened because he must have been going really slowly, or I don't know, unless he literally stopped. But I don't know why he would, as Milan and the AlphaTauri are going side by side for, I guess, a battle to see who gets the airtime. I know it's very precious to these guys. Hilke says he's not mad, he's laughing. Well, that's the spirit, I guess. Droftas is now the first out, so we're going to go on board on him because he will be the first to do a flying lap. Oh, apparently he ran into the wall and then it disqualified him. Yeah, it's quite easy to do with that pit lane. But yeah, he's got a long qualifying ahead of him because he's going to have to watch Q1, Q2 and Q3. And now that means only 2 people can be eliminated from this session. So only 2 people are going to be eliminated from Q1 rather than 3, because Energetics has done the honours and been the first one out of this session. Really still baffled about that, but
you give him a chance, you know.
Yeah, exactly, and you never know what you can do from the back. And maybe, you know, maybe he can have a great recovery race. As Droftas that goes through the first sector, comes around to the looping hairpin and onto this straight, this really long straight in sector 2. It's one of the prime overtaking spots here. It's absolutely going to drain your ERS dry here. And just behind him is the Red Bull of Infamous Pillars, sorry, I should say. Didn't see his first sector. We'll keep switching between the 2. Let's see what Droftas can do in sector 2. Of course, he will go purple originally, as he's the first one on a lap, but we'll switch to Pillars to see if he can match him. Droftas, one of the championship contenders. What can Pillars do? He can go purple, so he's beaten him in the second sector. As I say, unaware of the third. Now we're coming up to this really quite difficult looping corner. You can so easily outbrake yourself and either go on the curb and spin out or invalidate your time. But this is my personal favourite part of the track here, because if you can get it together, you can really get a good lap time in just from this final sector. Got to be careful not to go too far on the curbs. In real life, the F1 drivers do really abuse the track limits, as we know, but Droftas goes across the line with a 134.088, and Pillars has beaten that by 0.2 with a 133.8. And next across the line is Andreas, the title leader, 34.2, and further back is that Milan? It was actually someone going into the pits. Milan is invalidated, so he's going into the pits. And then we got a little bit of a break further back to Farhad, who had a really good qualifying in Hungary. Unfortunately for him, wasn't able to convert it in the race. So far, Pillars is quickest in Q1. And we'll start to see a lot more times being posted now. Farhad does a 134.6, the slowest of the times so far. Total P's will be the next across the line at the moment.
You got a favourite pole on this track?
I mean, it's difficult to tell because we're only in Q1, but I haven't really looked at TT, so I'm sort of blind, as P's does a 134.2, 6.4, so only 4 fastest. I'm a little bit blind in terms of pace around here. I'm not really sure what is a particularly good time as well, if I'm honest. So I really am going in blind. I guess I'll make a prediction in Q3 once we've had Q1 and Q2, because I'm going in a bit blind. Everyone else is in the pits at the moment. We've only got Blaze about to start his lap, and apart from that, everyone else is in the pit lane at the moment. People being patient. And Hilke was saying that his fastest time would only be a 1:37. I find that hard to believe. Or was that just Sector 3 time? I think it might have been Sector 3 time. Blaze has gone purple in the first sector.
Yeah, it was just Sector 3 time, yeah.
Yeah, so he's the only one on a lap at the moment. Gurman is also on an out lap, as is Farth and Fatality. Be interesting to see Fatality making his debut in this division. We've seen him in Div 2 before, where he came, I think it was 2nd or 3rd in that race, in Zandvoort, where I unfortunately bottled the podium. Not salty about it at all. But yeah, that was his only appearance of VIL so far. That was his reserve. Now he's got his full-time seat in the big time in Division 1. Blaze has done a purple Sector 2 as well. This is looking like it could be a decent lap here for the Haas driver. Bet Gunther Steiner wish that the Haas drivers could show this sort of pace in real life.
They can wish.
Yeah, they can wish. But you know what? Haas need to be in the sport, because it wouldn't be as entertaining in Drive to Survive, would it?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Gunther, of course, is a is a bot in our league, so we do appreciate him in the sport. As Blaze comes across the line, and he doesn't go fastest. He just misses out by under 2/10 to Pillars. He does a 1:34.059. Farth is the next one starting his lap. And yeah, we're starting to see some time lapse. Still only 7 times on the board at the moment. There is 10 minutes to go. Nova and Nolsey deciding to leave it a bit late, maybe, because they're still in the pits. I mean, in my opinion, I always like to go out early and get a lap time in, just as a banker, and then do one more in Q1, hopefully not having to do another one, and use up too many more soft tyres. Strategy here can do anything from a soft hard to a medium hard, or even a medium soft. Peas thinks he's through. He's retired. Yeah, he's retired in the pit lane. He obviously thinks he's safe, which is quite bold considering there's only been 7 lap times. But Peas does like to make these calls.
Yeah.
So
that is a brave decision there by Peas.
Yeah, it is a brave decision, but he's done them before, and they've all paid off so far. Farth, it says, has had a purple sector too, but I can tell you that was not purple, because Blaze did a 56.8 in that sector, and Farth has done a 59 something. So I don't think that actually was purple.
No.
Doesn't look like it's going to be a fastest lap anyway, from what we're seeing. It's got a bit of traffic in front. Young Light's about to start his lap. So what can Farth do? Yeah, it's definitely not going to be quickest. It's going to be the slowest of the timed laps so far, 1:34.8. Next coming across the line is Fatality, making his debut in Div 1, as I said. He does a 1:34.7. Young Light's now starting his lap. Someone else has gone across the line, and that is German with a 1:35.4.
Even in Dan Pilgrim. And Sam said, how's Light's Wi-Fi? So it's looking quite good at the moment.
Yeah, we're on board with him at the moment. It's looking alright. He's not teleporting all over the place, so we'll take that. Jonathan Cox is going to be the next one to come across the line, but he's invalidated, so I presume we'll be diving into the pits. Behind him is Milan, who's invalidated again. That's 2 invalidated laps for Milan. That's really disappointing for him. Really disappointing.
Yeah, that's not what you want for your first laps, is it?
No, it's it's 2 times now he's had invalidated laps. He will be fuming. As Aelan is now come across the line with a 1:34.6. Next up is the Renault of Farhad, about to start his lap. He's left the session, so he's just disappeared off the face of the earth as he was about to start his lap. Now Gio is invalidated, so he will not cross the line with the time. Disappointing for him. So we're going to stick on board with Young Lights then, because he's now in that final sector, and we're having quite a few people invalidate. I didn't think we'd see that much. At Hungary I expected it, and we did have a lot of that, but not Abu Dhabi. As Young Lights gets a bit of slide on, he is lagging a tiny bit, and he's lagging so much that the time hasn't come up yet. Has the time for Young Lights come up on your screen?
No, he's still going.
He's in Sector 1. Yeah, he's... Now it's saying an outlap. That's bizarre. Yeah, his Wi-Fi's not great, is what we can say from that. As Knowlesy comes across the line, he goes 6th fastest with a 1:34.400, dead on a 1:34.4. How satisfying is that? So we will keep an eye out for Young Lights when he does do an actual time. But weirdly saying he hasn't so far. As Milan comes into the pits, he needs to get a time in with 6 minutes to go. As Young Lights, yeah, it's not surprising considering the lag. Yeah, it did say 1:33.6 actually. Yeah, it says he's got fastest, but I mean that was very odd. That just shows he's obviously suffering with some serious internet issues, as Sam says, laggy lights. And Dan wants a new teammate. Can't be dealing with laggy lights. Oh, it was Dan who should get the credit for that nickname. YouTube Nova has done a 1:35.2. Jonathan Cox is on his outlap. So the only people who haven't set times are CRG Geo, who's invalidated again. That's disappointing for him.
Milan.
Yeah, Milan has... he's in the pits after he's invalidated twice already. And Jonathan Cox, who's invalidated once, is going to be setting the time. As we see the first people retire along with Pease. Pease is always the first one. He sets the trends and people follow. Jonathan Cox is on his outlap, hoping to try and get back-to-back poles. It's good to see we got Farhad back in the session. Hopefully we see Young Lights back in the session at some point. Milan there in the comments. We hope we see a lap from him that isn't invalidated, because at this rate he is going out, because he is on outlap, to be fair now. And Jonathan Cox invalidated his outlap. I hope that hasn't invalidated this lap as well, as I narrowly escape another voice break there. I'm living on thin ice here. It's good to see we have 12 viewers at least. Jonathan Cox begins his lap. Is Gio on a lap as well? Gio is on a lap.
Yeah, looks like it.
He's going. There's a yellow flag. He's going really slowly. Has he run out of fuel, or is? Yeah, I think he's run out of fuel. So Gio yet to set a lap as well. Jonathan Cox is on his lap, trying to set his first time. Just to remind you, 16th and 17th will join Energetics in exiting from Q1. If you just joined us, Energetics had a bizarre disqualification.
Yeah, Sammy, he has got pole. Yeah, he did set the fastest lap while he was lagging all over the place.
Yeah, it came across that he did, and that is a fastest sector too, 56.6 I think it was. He it literally was saying that once he crossed the line, that his lap was still going right into sector 2. Then it deleted that time, and then it went to outlap, and then he teleported into the pits, and it said that he set a time. It was very odd. We were very confused about that. But Jonathan Cox now coming across the lines. We lost Farhad again. He looks like he's having internet troubles as well. To be fair, his flag is from the entire world, so I can't imagine that's good for his internet. Being from the entire world, and Jonathan Cox just misses out on beating Young Light's time. He did have a purple sector 2, and it's a very respectable 1:33.7. That will easily see him through into Q2. Milan is on a lap. He hasn't invalidated it yet. I hope I haven't just done the commentator's curse, because he would rightfully want to kill me.
Yeah, let's hope not.
As he comes into sector 2 now, let's see what sort of time he can put on the board. We've also got Gio on an outlap. He's the only other person not to have done a time lap. Here he comes, Milan, through the chicane. It's just looking decent. He didn't get a purple middle sector, but of course he doesn't need the quickest time. He just needs the 15th or better time to get through. He'll, of course, Milan is quick. He'll be looking for something better than that in that Racing Point. Great car, that. And I'm not just saying that because I race it. In both divisions, actually, that I race in. And a little bit on the curb there. Really trying to get as much track limits as he can get away with, and it's a 1:33.965, and that's Milan safely through to Q2. So he's finally got that time on the board. We knew he had the pace. We were just worried about the invalidations. Gio has now set his first time, but it's a 1:37.2. That's about it's pretty much exactly 2 seconds off 16th place, and of course he needs to get 15th to be safe at the minimum. Farth is though still, he's on the cusp of it. He is in the danger zone.
The medium tyres Gio was on has not done him any favours for that qualifying lap.
It seems odd to go on the mediums for Q1. It really does. As I think that we see someone improve, because we've just seen some people move down.
Probably just trying to hope to save his tyres.
Yeah, still very risky. Still very risky. Yeah, actually, that is a good point. Yeah, he might have used up all his tyres from invalidations. That is a very good point, Cameron. See, this is why you're a better co-commentator than Velocity.
Yeah.
You notice these things. Yeah, exactly. Droftas now retiring from the session, and Jonathan Cox. YouTube Nova is further along on his lap than Farf, so we will go on board with him. Also worth noting that Gio is doing another lap, so that might have been a slow lap on the mediums to then he's fueled himself up to do another lap. So what can Nova do? He's currently in the drop zone. Needs to improve by almost 5/10, probably a bit more actually, because Farth is on a lap. Fatality's also gone out again. He doesn't think he's safe. Farhad, I'm not sure if he's rejoined or not, so I think you're safe if you're about 12th upwards, even maybe 13th. But Fatality, Farth, and then Nova and Geo in the drop zone certainly aren't safe at the moment. As we watch Nova now into Sector 3. Oh, it goes right along the curb. Lucky he didn't invalidate there, but as Pillars now retires from the session, I presume a lot more will follow as we go into the final 16 seconds. This is the final shot for Nova to get out of Q1. He comes across the line, and it is an improvement, but it's not enough. It's a 1:34.9. Oh, he's just killed himself. He has just killed himself. Oh my goodness, we've just witnessed suicide on stream.
Farf set a better lap time.
Yep, Farf is probably now safe. Fatality is now the one at risk. Geo's on an out lap. Geo surely is out. Unless that is a glitch. He's not on an out lap though, because he did the last lap. I think that's just glitched. Or he's lagging or something. Let's see.
No, he's on his...
It says he's 2 minutes 13. I think that's definitely lag. Sam saying definitely did that on purpose. Nah, surely not. He just lost control of the car. Wasn't on purpose at all. Just completely lost control.
Oh, where's Gio going?
Gio has gone off the track. He's going in the car park. Oh my goodness. Incredible scenes. He's just gone in the car park. Where is he going? This is unbelievable. He's in the palm trees. He's off. I think he's going to Dubai. And now he's in the pits. That was an unbelievable journey. He went into downtown Abu Dhabi and then thought, nah, I'll go back to the track now. So there you have it. That is Q1 over. What an amazing ending to Q1. Jonathan Cox saying off to Ferrari World. Yeah, he is in a Ferrari, to be fair, so that is a good point. And after a crazy ending to Q1, Fatality, Farhad, Farth, Gurman, Dan Murphy, Pease, Andreas, Aylan, Droftas, Knowlesy, Milan, Pillars, Blaze, Jonathan Cox and Young Lights are all through. And the ones that we lose from Q1, who unfortunately won't be joining us in Q2, YouTube Nova, who then had a spectacular crash after he realised he wasn't going to go through, as he didn't improve enough on his time. Then Gio, who went off into downtown Abu Dhabi and went off into the car park. Incredible scenes. And then Energetics, who got disqualified. I am in absolute shock at what we have witnessed. I didn't know that was possible on this game, but that was spectacular. I'm not exactly complaining about that. And now it's saying that Gio's on an outlap again. What is going on? It's saying he's on an outlap. Well, we're going to watch very closely because he could be going off into downtown Abu Dhabi again. He's just crashed into someone. He's just crashed into a Haas there. Yeah, so I'm saying Ferrari understood. I think this is some sort of secret Ferrari strategy here.
Gio's in a lot of comments laughing.
This is definitely some sort of strategy from Ferrari to try and get a gain on the competitors just by driving off the track completely. And well, that was brilliant. I thank Gio for that amazing entertainment at the end of Q1. People complaining about Q1 being boring. Well, there you go. Just need more Gio in there. Because that was spectacular. As we've apparently got Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz in the session now. What is going on? I'm so confused. What is wrong with this lobby? Well, it's great to see that two actual F1 drivers have joined us, but unfortunately they're not going to make it through to Q2. So yeah, we bid them goodbye, but we appreciate their short stay. We're currently on time remaining 0-1 because Gio is still going around the track on an outlap. I think we might need Gio to retire or do something for us to continue. Becca, you haven't even seen the worst of it. We just witnessed a Ferrari go to Abu Dhabi, the actual city, not the track. He went to Ferrari World and now he's on an outlap for eternity. This is his punishment for going off the track. He's never allowed to end his outlap. This is bizarre. Yeah, so I think we are going to need Gio to leave the session, unfortunately, or retire because, yeah, this is odd. I think we're going to have the stewards on that.
Guess I'll need to stop the car somehow, isn't they?
Yeah. Gio has left the session, and we have can continue. Thank you for that sacrifice, Gio.
Cheers, Gio.
But yeah, there we go. What an entertaining end to Q1. Young Light's the quickest of everyone, by just under a tenth. It was close though, 0.039 between him and Jonathan Cox. So hopefully we'll have a good battle for pole. Unfortunately, we do lose Gio, but he has rejoined at least to watch. So yeah, we will see. Right, on to Q2 now. We will see some variation in strategy. I presume some going soft, some going medium. As always, as I say, you can do both. You can do a medium hard, medium soft even possibly, or a soft hard. It really depends how confident you are on your tyre wear. So yeah, as it's kicking off a bit in the Discord right now. Yeah, so Q2, and as usual, every time I have to enable my track map and stuff, we await. We will be spectating the first person who comes out, and there is Charles Leclerc in the garage. There's his garage. It says Charles Leclerc on it next to Gurman, so that is quite a reputable name to have there. Indeed, and yeah, we wait for the first driver to come out. Who's going to blink first? Looks like Jonathan Cox is, and I also saw Young Light's about to come out of his garage as well. So let's see what Jonathan Cox can do then. He is probably one of the front runners for pole based off that Q1, and he did get pole last time round. He seems to be a qualifying expert, certainly in the dry anyway. He is a very quick driver.
He does seem to be quite good in the qualifying, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he'll be looking for back-to-back poles. Don't think we've had a back-to-back pole sitter so far this season. We've had quite a few pole sitters. You know, we've had Young Lights, we've had Total P's, we've had Droftas. We've had quite a few different pole sitters, and Jonathan Cox is one of them after that Hungary race, and I'll be looking to get another pole position today. So he's first out.
Saying Light shouldn't be allowed to race.
Controversial comments. He's just got bad internet, which, to be fair, I had shocking internet for a long time. But then I got it fixed, and Young Lights does say, to be fair, he'll get it fixed. So I'm sure he'll get it fixed soon. So there's no worries about that.
Who's that? That's invalidated. Is that Jonathan?
Yeah, but he hasn't started his lap. So yeah, Jonathan is out. Then it's Andreas. Then it's Young Lights, and then it is Droftas. So we'll be going in that order. So Jonathan Cox is on those medium tyres. In fact, actually, I didn't actually look at Andreas, also on the mediums. Droftas is gone out on the softs for the championship contender, who's second in the championship, is going for the soft hard strategy, or maybe soft medium, we're not sure, but he's going for the soft tyre, whilst most other people, well, Pillars is also on the softs, but Jonathan and Andreas have both opted for the mediums to
Jonathan did have to
as
do
a
a few
starting
laps
tyre.
in Q1 there, didn't he?
True, that is true. Dan Murphy's retired from the session. Where is that on track? Was that on track? No, that was in the pit lane. Why is Dan retired? Very confused why Dan is retired there. Very odd. Well, I wonder if someone can inform us why that happened, but yeah. I'll just see if I can find that out. But anyway, Jonathan Cox will be the first across the line. He will be the pace setter. And we await his first time on those medium tyres. Will those mediums be quick enough to get into Q1? Q3. Oh, no.
Ooh.
That is a big save there, and I think his pants will be slightly browner after that because he nearly binned it. Scary moment, and this will not be an ideal lap for 1:35.087. It won't be. That won't be the quickest he can do. Andreas goes quicker with a 1:34.4, but he didn't have that scary moment as far as we know. Young Lights is teleported over there. So next up then is Droftas. We can't really, unfortunately, run on board with Young Lights. Droftas invalidated. He did do a 1:33.9, but he's invalidated.
Invalidated as well.
Milan has. Yeah, he had problems with that in Q1, of course. He had big problems with invalidation in Q1. So he's going to be using up a lot of tyres here. That's going to be a real problem. As we see German now come around the final corner. And he's set at 1:35, but it hasn't gone on my leaderboard. So next up, Milan's invalidated. So yeah, German did do a 1:35.2. There's the confirmation. Milan is invalidated, as we said. Young Lights will be the next across the line, but because of the lag, we probably won't see a time for a bit. There's a yellow flag. Oh, he's invalidated and he backs off. He will be going into the pits. So next we look Andreas. He'll be coming in. Or will Andreas be going again? Oh, he's going again. Well, he's gone across the line anyway, but he did invalidate. We're going to see if Andreas, because he's on the mediums, if he is going to set another time. No, it looks like he won't be setting another time. Certainly not with that pace. And he is coming into the pits. Farhad on a lap.
Blaze had to push off wide on his qualifying lap there. Had to slow down. Someone was in the way.
Oh, that's going to be that might prove controversial. Who was that was behind him? Was it Droftas? Well, yeah. I mean, Milan. Sorry. Forget to Blaze. He is on the soft tyre, so he is going to come straight in. Milan, meanwhile, has gone purple in the second sector. And as long as he can keep this... He's switched to the mediums, Milan. He's switched to the mediums, but I think he might have been forced into that because of all the invalidations that he's unfortunately suffered. So he pretty much has no choice but to go onto the medium tyre. We've so far had 4 time laps as Farhad goes across the line with a 1:34.7. We're about to have 5 with Milan, as he's managed to keep it within the track limits this time and comes across the line with a 1:34.3. That is the fastest time, and it's the fastest time on mediums as well, significantly.
Jonathan Cox saying that was a scary moment.
Yeah, well, it looked a very scary moment as we see Total P's now on his outlap. And so far, yeah, we're only really seeing outlaps. A lot of invalidations, and yeah, a lot of people having to back off. Pease has gone for the soft tyre, so he's opting for a different strategy. So if I get up the detail actually for you, the fitted tyre. So far, all 5 lap times that have been set are with the medium tyre. But when Pease does set his lap time, as long as he doesn't invalidate, he will be the first soft runner. Sorry, Andreas set a time on the soft tyre. So 4 of the 5 have been on the medium tyre. So that is looking like the preferred strategy so far, as we wait for more people to emerge from the pits. But it will be Pease who... Well, Jonathan Cox is on an outlap, actually. So he's gone out, straight out again. He doesn't think he's safe, clearly. Well, of course, he had that big scary moment. So we know he can definitely improve significantly. So he will be the next person to set a lap time and start his outlap. Then it will be Total Pease. Yeah, just looking at the comments now. People talking about... yeah, Jonathan Cox saying that was a scary moment. Sam saying fishing is fun. Not a fan myself of fishing, but... each of their own. P starts his lap. And Jonathan Cox went into the... No, Jonathan Cox... Right, that was Farhad I was looking at. I got confused on the track lap. I do apologise. No, it's saying there's a Renault out. Yeah, it is Jonathan Cox, but it was...
Yeah.
It was Farhad. It was Farhad who went into the pits. Anyway, as I ramble on, Total P's is going to be the next one to cross the line. We've also got Fatality on a lap. He's on the soft tyres. We've got Blaze on an out lap as well. Young Lights on an out lap. I wonder if we'll see any more people go and visit Ferrari World like we saw with Gio, or perhaps that was a one-off. But
ooh, Fatality's fucked it. Oh,
he's invalidated. Yeah, he's invalidated. Disappointing for him. Indeed. Total P's now. Didn't see what he was able to do in Sector 2. But let's see what he can do in Sector 3 and how he can wrap up his lap here. See what P's can do here. Oh, he's got on the curb a bit too much. That would have cost him time. He was lucky not to lose the rear there, actually, in the end. He's really throwing that car around, fighting that car. He always likes to go for those unstable setups, so it's almost like pole or die for P's in terms of that mentality. He comes across the line on the soft tyre and goes quickest with a 1:34.0. Behind him, that was Young Lights. Starting his lap, so that was Young Lights starting his lap, and P's getting well out the way there, as you can see on the screen.
only 6 people have actually set time so far.
Yep, do they have Blaze? Is he going again, or is he going to be in the pits? He did complete his lap that he invalidated. We've also got Knowlesy out, and that is not the track. That is definitely not the track there for Knowlesy. Very interesting line, I must say. But maybe, maybe he can gain some extra pace. But no, he's just clearly getting out of the way for everyone. Phil Gang are here, but Phil has not made qualifying, unfortunately, because he joined too late. So that's a shame for Phil Gang, but they will be here for the race, they assure me. Well, Leonardo does anyway, who is a big part of that. We'll look for Young Lights now, see what he can do in Sector 2. What sort of time can he do in Sector 2? He does go purple, apparently. Although he is on the medium tyre, so I'm not sure he would have actually gone purple. But it is Young Lights, he is very quick, so we'll have to see. We've also got Fatality's gone straight back out after that invalidation. Droftas is on an out lap. Pillar's on an out lap as well. Yellow flag in Sector 2, someone getting out of the way. Yeah, that is crazy. 3 minutes to go, and we're about to have 7 times now, and it is Young Lights with a 1:34.096. Wow. He was only just off Total P's time, yet he was on the medium tyre. He was on he was on a harder compound than Total P's, yet he's that close to him. That really shows Young Lights' pace. And I'm going to go out and say it, he's my favourite for pole, just off that lap alone. Because to be that close on the mediums to P's soft time, that looks very impressive. Kerman is, again, taking a fascinating line. Loving the lines we're seeing out here today. Total P's has retired from the session, and he's confident he's through to Q3, and why wouldn't he be? There's only been 7 times we get into the final 2 minutes. Farth is still in the pit. Oh no, Farth is coming out now. Ervan is in the pits. Blaze is coming out now. Knowlesy in the pits, who hasn't set a lap time. I think we're going to see a few people, who aren't going to set lap times in this session.
Yeah.
So
that was coming to look, isn't it?
Yes, it is looking that way at the moment. Let's just see who's furthest ahead on the track. I don't believe anyone is on a flying at the moment. Droftas is on a flying. He's furthest off those. He's gone purple in Sector 2. He is on the soft tyre. So, showing encouraging signs for his lap. Trying to go quicker than Total P's. And cement himself into that top 10 shootout. We now have everyone on outlap. So, with the exception of Dan Murphy, and if there are no invalidations, we are going to see everyone else set a time. Droftas now coming round the final 2 corners. What sort of time can he set? It's a 1:34.049 to beat so far, and he's beaten that with a 1:34.011. That is incredibly close these times. Look at that top three.
They're all close, aren't they?
Yeah, really separated by milliseconds. Fatality has invalidated. He's not going to have time to put a lap in if he hasn't got enough fuel. So that is qualifying over for Fatality by the looks of it. Farth starting his lap. Anyone else further ahead? Let's see if Pillars is now about to set his first lap time of this qualifying and try and get to Q3. What can he do? A 1:33.4. Wow, 6/10 quicker than anyone else. That is quite a benchmark that he has set there. And Milan is a 1:33.7. Yeah, we're starting to see the times tumble. And we're about to see our 10th time be set by F1 Farth. I believe he's the furthest out of those on a lap round at the moment. I think the others...
Costa said he was P3 with 2 purple sectors. P6 now. That would change in an instant, didn't it?
It really did. It really did. And Farth, see what he can do. It says a purple sector 2, but that was about a second off what the actual purple sector was. So I can confirm that that is the glitch. Either way, Farth is on the medium, so he's not going to be setting purple times most likely. He'll just be looking for a time good enough to get him into Q3. This will be his only shot as we go into the final seconds of qualifying. Let's see what Farth can do. Gurman's on an outlap, but he's not going to make it. So, Gurman is the one... Farth only goes 9th fastest. Gurman is the one at risk at the moment. Airlan has done a 56.7. That's a very good middle sector. Very good middle sector. So, him and Blaze on laps. But Airlan is the furthest out of them. Yes, he is. He's further ahead than Nosey. So... Alan now into the final sector under this beautiful hotel section. Under the Aramco sign. And let's see what he can do as the car gets out of the way. For Alan, Farhad retiring from the session. He's not going to have time to put another lap in anyway, even if he wanted to. Alan is going to go second fastest with a 1:33.7. And Gurman is out. Farth is out of Q2. He just misses out. He's 11th fastest. Fatality retires. Now we wait for Nosey. Nosey crosses a line. He goes 10th fastest. So Farhad is just knocked out of Q2. Very unfortunate for him. So in the end, we only had 13 of the 15 drivers set times in the end because of invalidations and a bizarre retirement by Dan Murphy in the pits. So there is your top 10 for Q3 in the shootout. Pillars, Airline, Milan, Blaze, Stroftas, Pease, Young Lights, Jonathan Cox, Andreas and Nosey. And the 5 we are losing from Q2 and won't be joining us for the final shootout. Farhad just missing out on 11th, F1 Farth 12th, Gurman 13th, and then Fatality 14th and Dan Murphy 15th, both not setting times. So now it is, and now it's time to make your prediction for pole position as we've had Q2. Who are you going for?
It's quite tough, but I reckon Pillars is going to take this.
You're going off the Q2 time for Pillars. That's certainly a respectable guess.
Did quite well in Q1 as well.
3/10 clear of everyone else. That is very impressive. I don't blame you why you're going for that. But I'm going to go for someone different just because I don't like the commentators both going for the same one on pole. And I'm going to say... Milan, he's looked very quick when he can actually put a lap together that's not invalidated. So, but I do apologise to Milan because most people that I say that are my favourites pole, they don't usually end up getting it, but it has to be someone. So I'm sorry. Hopefully you break that curse for now. But yeah, there's the confirmation of the top 10 for the final shootout. And Young Lights, Jonathan Cox, Andres, and Nosey are the only ones who will be starting on the medium tyre out of the top 10. Q3, it's the big boy round. Final shootout. This is where it all really matters. Let's see what these guys can do. And I wonder, based off Q2, if we'll see all 10 do a lap time, actually. Considering the invalidations and the fact that they will only... A lot of them will only have one fresh tyre for getting to Q3. because a lot of people have used up a lot of tyres so far.
Jonathan Cox out first?
No, it looks like Andreas is out first. I am right for once. Andreas is out first. I need to stop having these near voice breaks. They're really stressing me out. I'm very upset. But yeah, Andreas first out for Q3, and the championship leader, as we mentioned. Behind him, Jonathan Cox looking for his second pole in the row. It was Jonathan Cox, but he's been overtaken by Pillars for track position. Pease, as we see, just exiting the pit lane now. Be interesting to see in the race, will we see anyone have an energetics moment in the pit lane when they exit? Because it's so easy to obviously damage your wing or apparently get disqualified there. So be interesting to see if anyone struggles with that in the race. So we wait for Andreas to start his lap.
Gio reckons total pews for P1.
Pease has shown okay pace here, but he's not been one of the front runners in... Well, he was the front runner for a while in Q2 until those quicker times. I'm really not sure about Pease pace here. He's personally not... I'm not going to go for Pease for pole, but that's probably a good thing for him, because all the times I do go for Pease for pole, he doesn't get pole. Andreas starts his lap. Look how close behind him Pillars is. I really hope they don't trip up over each other.
Didn't even in VIL enough.
If you see how close Andreas and Pillars are, they are right up behind each other. So if Andreas has a slightly slower lap than Pillars, could end up holding him up. But we do know that both these guys are very quick and very professional, so I'm sure that won't happen. I'll tell you what, this is giving infamous Pillars a really nice tow, because he's in the DRS and the slipstream of Andreas, so this might make him go faster, you know. This is helping your favourite for pole at the moment, I think. This tow from Andreas. And they'll all cross the line quite shortly, and then just behind him is the
Pillars with a
Blaze?
purple 62, I think that is.
No, who's that? Knowlesy ahead of them. Oh, that's Knowlesy about to start an outlap. That's who's ahead of them. As we go back to Andreas, who will set the first time and then quickly switch to Pillars to see what he can do, because they're so close together. Actually, they'll be in the same shot. There might not even be a reason to switch. Then next up on the track on a flying is Jonathan Cox.
Ooh. Pillars slipped a little bit.
Yeah, he did. That's going to cost him time. 1:33.3 for Andreas. Pillars does get provisional pole so far, but let's see what Jonathan Cox can do. He goes across the line. It's only a 1:33.5. That's not good enough at the moment. Now comes the young lights. It's a 1:33.5 as well. 5:79, slowest of the time laps. We're seeing Blaze now in sector 3, and we just seen Droftas to a 1:33.2. Yeah, I think that the reason that Pillars was sort of saved, but he'll be really frustrated because he had a really good DRS and slipstream off Andreas. He'll be frustrated because of that mistake, that he hasn't gone even better as Blaze goes 5th fastest. Total P's with a 1:33.6. That's the slowest of the time laps so far. Here is a Knowlesy now on a lap. He'll be the next one to cross the line. Then Alan, then Milan Mayo. So I think Pease will be disappointed with that first effort because he is the slowest of the timed laps. Young Light saying had a very bad sector 3. Well, that's good for you in a way, because that means that you know there's room for improvement and you can gain more time. So Gio saying total pubes for P1. That is a great name for him. But no, so far not looking like it. P7, but of course he will have another shot. Let's just hope for his sake those weren't his only fresh soft tyres. Nosey now coming into this final sector. I think Pillars can definitely go quicker as well, because you did see that big moment, didn't you? He definitely can shave off some time. As Nosey now comes across the line, he's looked quick here today. It's only good enough though for a 1:33.687, and that is 8th fastest slowest of the timed laps. Now Alan is going to be up next, and he will be followed by Milan, who's just starting his lap. So there will be a bit of a gap, and Alan's invalidated. He's invalidated right in Sector 3. He'll be fuming with himself. Really disappointing for him. So we now go to Milan's on board. He is the person I backed for pole. So I expect him now to have a horrific lap, unfortunately, because that is the effect I seem to have on drivers. He doesn't go purple in Sector 1, but where you can make the most time seems to be Sector 2 and 3 from what we've seen so far. Onto that long DRS straight. There'll be so many overtakes, I presume, in the race there, and a lot of draining of ERS. Of course, remember last year at Abu Dhabi, of course, we did have that DRS glitch for about 15 laps, and everyone had to overtake without DRS. And the only one who seemed to be able to manage to do that was Bottas, because he was in such a faster car than the midfield. So it does show that DRS actually is quite important for overtaking in F1. Even if it is a bit artificial. I do remember that from last year. That was the only thing I remember from last year's race, because last year's race was boring as most have been at Abu Dhabi, unfortunately, since those title deciders. But we know that's not going to be the case in Div 1. These guys don't know how to make a boring race. Milan now coming through the final sector. Nice exit there. Riding the curb perfectly legally. He's going to come across the line now, and it's a 1:33.9. It is the curse of the commentator. I am a terrible, terrible person.
Yeah, maybe you should stop having a guess who you think.
Well, yeah, to be fair, you did ask me originally, so maybe you should stop asking me. Checkmate.
Nah.
Alan now coming across the line. He'll be the final person to set a time lap. He did invalidate his first one. No, he's coming into the pits. It actually did look like a bad time, to be fair, so opting not to set a time lap in the end. So Jonathan Cox says a bit of a scruffy lap from me. So, but again, it just means that, you know, there's room for improvement. And as long as you have another fresh set of soft tyres available, or if that was on an old soft, that is something actually to consider for the slower guys like Total P's and Milan. They might be going out on old softs to set their first time.
That is true.
Saving those fresh tyres for their final run. So we just wait for Milan to come out in the pits, and we wait for that first person to make the dash for the final run of Q3. Currently sitting on provisional pole is infamous Pillars. Is Cameron gonna get his first pole prediction right first time? That will annoy me if you do.
I have a good feeling about this. I do have a good
you
feeling
will.
about
That will annoy me if you do. You come in and just trump me with your prediction.
I just got the luck.
But I'm sure Pillars won't mind that at all. So we now wait for the cars, as I said, to emerge for that final lap. And yeah, we play the waiting game. I'll tell you what, those look like cracking seats above the pit lane. I don't know if you can see that on your perspective, but they're just clapping.
Yeah,
they're very happy. I don't know what they're clapping at the moment. Everyone's in the pits, but they are really...
They have to be there.
They're really psyched up for this. I mean, they've managed to dodge COVID for this, so I guess that's why they're buzzing.
Well, it's the people coming out now.
That was Andreas first out by the looks of it. And that looked like a racing
Blaze.
point. Oh, was it Blaze has beaten him? Yeah, Blaze has beaten... No, yeah, it wasn't it? I got that completely wrong. Yeah, it was Blaze who's first out. He's followed by either Droftas or Alan. It was an Alpha Tauri. It is Alan who's the next out. Then it's Milan. And then it is Andreas. So first we will ride on board with the first man out, and that is Blaze in that Haas car. He'll be the first one to set a time. And this is where it really matters. This is the lap that you need to make count. And those look like shiny new softs for Blaze. Are we hoping to maximise the most of them? But of course, the harder you push, there is that risk of invalidating does increase. But it doesn't matter at this point. You've got to go hell for leather to try and get pole position. And that is why qualifying is so important. And in my opinion, you need to keep it in F1 and not replace it with reverse grids. Maybe have reverse grids or sprint races for some races, some tracks if you really want. But I personally love qualifying, even if it is a bit predictable at the moment, because you see the cars going hell for leather at their maximum speed, and it is really good to see. Anyway,
yeah, it's nice
Blaze is about to start his lap, so let's see what he can do. In the lit up night of Abu Dhabi, with all these artificial lights around, beaming up the circuit. Wouldn't want to be a driver and accidentally look up into one of those headlights, would you? Like those big lights. Imagine that, just blind yourself for the next corner. Yeah, wouldn't be very good. As Blaze does improve on his time actually, but only just under a tenth, as we saw in the background. Their Alan actually has been overtaken. That was Milan in the background, I do believe. So they must have swapped on the outlap. So Blaze is slightly up on his time as it stands. Let's see what he can do for Sector 2 and if he can keep improving. He's currently in P5. There is the clock gone. We are now at the final run with the time up. This is the final chance for everybody to improve on their times. Everyone's timed it perfectly though, which is good to see. So we are going to see everyone hopefully have a fair crack at improving on their time. Blaze didn't get a purple Sector 2. Actually wasn't paying attention. I missed if he improved or not in Sector 2. The ultimate thing though is what it will be when he crosses the line. Will it be an improvement? He's done a 1:33.571. If he improves only slightly, he will go P4 because currently Jonathan Cox has got a 1:33.526. He goes very close to invalidating, but gets the maximum out of the track limits as you're supposed to. Goes across the line. It's provisional pole for Blaze. He's improved by 0.3. It's a 1:33.1. What can Milan do? Milan crosses the line. It's a 1:33.5. He can't improve. Next up is Droftas. He's invalidated. It wasn't Droftas, it was Alan. Alan's gone second with a 1:33.2. I'm struggling to keep up. Droftas now goes across the line with a 1:33.32, but he had invalidated. Young Lights has gone across the line. We've seen P's improve slightly. He's now in P6. Young Lights now comes across the line. Jonathan Cox will be the last to cross it. Young Lights does improve to P6. Jonathan Cox has invalidated. So that is it. He is not going to get back-to-back poles, and none of us were right on the pole prediction. It is, in fact, Blaze.
I thought I had it.
It was a good effort for your first go. I'll give you that. You know, he was provisional pole, but in the end, it is Blaze who gets pole for Haas. Really good and competitive qualifying there. Look at that, 0.042, the gap between pole and second place, and then even closer there between Pillars and Alan. So yeah, the grid is Blaze in first, Alan second, Pillars third, Andreas fourth, Droftas fifth, Young Light sixth, Total P seventh, Jonathan Cox eighth, Knowlesy ninth, and Milan 10th. And I tell you what, that's all the top four starting right behind each other. Andreas is in front, Droftas behind him, Young Light's behind him, and P's behind him. So they're all grouped together, the championship contenders. So that is going to be fascinating to see. And we have a new pole sitter, Blaze, with his first pole position of the season. Congratulations to him. It was an excellent lap. He was first across the line as well. So well done to him.
That's what makes it entertaining about this league. Anyone could win a race or be on pole or anything.
Exactly. That is what's so entertaining about commentating here and how privileged we are, because it is so unpredictable, especially with this grid. So yeah, a good, very good, exciting and competitive qualifying. Now it's on to the race, and we we'll give a grid rundown when the formation lap starts. We just wait for everyone to pick, especially those outside the top 10, to pick the fuel loads and the strategy. Jonathan Cox, frustrated with that invalidation. Yep, looked quick, Jonathan. Unlucky on the invalidation. You did look quick, but I'm sure you'll make up for it in the race. And yeah, hoping to see a good race with a lot of overtakes. There are a lot more overtaking opportunities here than there are Hungary. Although I presume there'll be a lot more DRS overtakes rather than creative ones. As we wait for the formation lap. And here we go for the formation lap. With the Haas of Place leading from the AlphaTauri of Elan. Pillars in third. Andreas fourth, your championship leader. Droftas, who's second in the championship, in fifth. Young Lights, who's fourth in the championship, in sixth. And Total P's, who's third in the championship, in seventh. Jonathan Cox in eighth. Unfortunate to invalidate and miss his chance of pole, as we see Phil disconnect from the session. That's unfortunate. Nosey in ninth. And Milan ending up the top 10. He's in 10th. Farhad in 11th. He will have the free choice of tyre. As I said, if you're not going to make Q3, it is the best place to qualify 11th, because you do have that fresh choice of tyres, and it's no real difference in P10 at all. Farth in P12. German P13. Fatality P14. Last year's championship winner Dan Murphy down in P15. He retired in the pits for some reason in Q2. Still really confused why that happened. Nova in 16th. Gio in 17th, he's back from Ferrari World. Energetics in 18th, and Fireshot Ryan joins us for 19th. And it's a shame, we would have a full grid, but Phil Razor unfortunately disconnected, so we are not going to have that full grid in the end.
Yeah, that answers your question, Leonardo, in the comments. Ask him where Phil is.
He just disconnected, unfortunately. He joined and then disconnected immediately. So it looks like Phil's internet, unfortunately, has robbed Phil of a chance of racing here. And if anyone's wondering what Energetics is doing so far down the grid, he had a bizarre disqualification in qualifying. He binned it in the tunnel coming out the pit lane, and just then got disqualified immediately. And there's a car hanging back who's out of position. I'm not sure who that is. What car is that? Is that a Haas at the back? Who's the other Haas car? Out of position at the very back. I wonder if he spun or something on the formation lap. We'll have to see. I've just realised
back in the session.
Oh, Phil is back. Phil is back, but is he going to be able to get his position before the start of the race? We will have to see. But as they line up, we can see Andreas the highest on the medium tyres. Most people outside the top 10 have gone for the mediums, except for Gio on the hard, and the rest obviously on the softs. We wait for lights out and away we go. Hopefully it doesn't glitch like it always does, but Codemasters haven't fixed that glitch. So when we actually do start racing, it usually glitches. Let's hope it doesn't with a leaderboard. Lights out and away we go. And that's a decent start. It has glitched with the leaderboard. Try and ignore that. Blaze is away. And we've got 3 wide into turn 1. And that's an excellent start from Pillars. But he's gone very wide. Oh, there's a huge crash. That's Young Lights. That's Young Lights involved. He's retired. That was Young Lights and Total P's who involved. We have a virtual safety car. Total P's has come to a complete halt as well. He's probably considering retiring. We only caught that in the background of what happened. But I'm not sure if it was lag or what that caused the collision, but
that's not what you want when you're trying to push for the title either.
No, both two big contenders for the title out of it. But as we go on to VSC, Blaze is in first, Pillars up to second, Andreas, the championship leader, up to third, Elan's dropped down to fourth, Droftas in fifth, Milan sixth. He's up 4 places. Knowlesy seventh, Farth eighth, Jonathan Cox ninth, and Jonathan Cox and Dan Murphy actually having a little battle there, and Dan Murphy's got past him. Dan Murphy's up from 15th to 9th on this first lap. And I'm trying to pick what battle is closest. It looks like Knowlesy is currently closest, but Pillars also nearby. Is Knowlesy going to go for a move as we restart? No, he's just too far away. But currently your leader is your pole sitter, Blaze. He had a really good start, and then there was 3 wide, and absolute... I'm not really sure if P's got bogged down, or Young Lights did, because they seem quite far back. Gio and German battling. Gio, of course, on the hard tyre. Gio has got past the Mercedes of ISRL German. And Farth getting very close and personal with Nolsey. But as we go for the first lap, it is Blaze from Pillars, from Andreas, from Elan, from Droftas, Milan, Nolsey, Farth, Dan Murphy and Jonathan Cox. But Farth has just made a move and something's happened to... Is that my leaderboard glitching or what is going on here? Nova's retired from the session in the pit lane. Ah, the monitor's going crazy. Farth is apparently in the lead. No, he's not. What is going on? Is your leaderboard glitching for you? Because mine is.
Yeah, mine's all glitching. They have P's first now as well.
Yeah, it's a glitch that unfortunately seems to happen with this game that Codemasters refuse to accept that they need to fix. So ignore that. Pease is still in the race. He's come in for a wing change and got onto the medium tyres. That's good to see him not giving up. But Blaze is the race leader. Pease, for some reason, has hacked the game and is apparently first. But he is not, as I can tell you. Blaze in the lead at the moment. I'm looking at the battles. It's all very close. DRS will be enabled this lap. As we've got a car that's parked to the side of the... Oh, that's Nova's car who came out the pit lane. And the leaderboard has restored itself. Thank goodness for that. Really apologise about this. Codemasters really need to fix this. Sam saying lights crash. Yes, he did. He had a collision with Total Peas. We're not sure what caused that. We just sort of caught the end of it. Blaze going very wide there as he goes to lead the lap. Obviously, DRS will be enabled for this lap. And I'm sure we're going to have a massive DRS train down that long straight in Sector 2. We go on board currently with Droftas. I do love this on board view, to be fair. Pillar's also getting quite close to Blaze. Trying to switch to as many onboards as we can. It's difficult knowing who's more likely to overtake because the gaps are all sort of the same at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
But currently...
It is all quite close at the moment.
As it stands, P's way at the back, but all he needs is a safety car for him to be back in it. That's an excellent exit from Pillars. He's going to have DRS here. Pillars is going for the move for the lead on Blaze. They're side by side. He's surely going to get the move done. He has. He's gone in front of him. Is there going to be a late lunge from Blaze? No, there isn't. Pillars is up into P1. That was a very good move. Just because of the exit he had was incredible. Blaze, though, is still with him. Andreas also further behind. We have movement at the back. Fatalities past Farhad. Blaze is coming back at Pillars. He has DRS, but he's not close enough. Droftas has got past Elan. That's a terrible view. Maybe that was a tactical switch because they are teammates, and obviously Droftas fighting in the championship and Elan not at the moment because they weren't particularly close when that move happened. So I think maybe a bit of team orders.
His comment is saying thanks for taking me out, Peas.
Oh,
nice to know what happened there.
Yeah, it might have been lag, to be fair, or maybe it was just a coming together. I'm not sure. Energetics closing up on Fatality here. Little train further back. We will try and cover the midfield at the moment as well. Farth, currently the one closest. Also, Andreas is gaining on second place Blaze, and of course he's on the medium tyre. We've got Milan in the pit. Very early pit stop, lap 4. Is he going to go on the hards here? Or is he's not serving a drive-through or anything, I don't think. He's switching to the medium tyres. Is he going to try and go into the end? That's very ambitious if he is. But Farth, meanwhile, closing in Jonathan Cox with his first penalty. Droftas getting very close here. He's going to have a really good run on Andreas, but Andreas might be saved by the DRS in front of him. Pillars is just outside of DRS zone now. Blaze as well. Droftas gaining on Andreas, but he's just too far back. He might have to wait for the second DRS zone. Meanwhile, Farth is going for a move on Nolsey. Is he going to go for it? He's going for the lunge. P sets the fastest lap. Meanwhile, the mediums, that's something for him. Oh, that's a lovely switch back there from Farth, I must say. They're side by side. And Farth just ahead. And he's made the move stick. Brilliant racing from the two of them. That was a really nice switchback move from Farth. Meanwhile, Droftas continues to be quite close to Andreas. And if I get the detail up, actually, position gained would be quite interesting. As we got a yellow flag in Sector 2, I believe that's Total Peace. It is. I think he spun it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can see there from the details, Pillars up 2 places. And look at the big gains. Dan Murphy up 9 places, and Fireshot Ryan, who started plumb last in 19th, up 10 places. They are the big winners, and both of them in the points. Energetic gets his first penalty. The big losers being, of course, Total P's involved in that crash, and Milan, who's pitted incredibly early. But we will go back to the...
Young like saying it wasn't lag. Must have been just a genuine racing incident, maybe. And
we'll see from both their perspectives, I'm sure, and incidents later today. But either way, Pease is still running. He's not giving up. Milan's got past Gio, meanwhile, on the quicker tyre. And he will aim to pull away now. Pease obviously has the fastest lap at the moment. Meanwhile, Andreas is really closing in. And he's going to try and make the move on Blaise. And Blaise has gone from first to third within 5 laps. Not the ideal start for him. And behind him is Droftas. And Droftas has got a really good run. Bit of a slide, though. That will compromise him. Energetic's getting past Fatality, meanwhile.
He seems to be racing well.
He does. He seems to be... he's up to 11th already. He's having a good start. This top 4, top 5 even, are separated by less than a second, pretty much. There's no gap more than a second between the top 4. And it seems like it's not actually one big DRS train, so people are still managing to get overtakes, which is good to see. We're currently riding on board from Blaise's perspective. But there is your current leader, Pillars, who was your man for pole, just missed out. Fatality gets a 3-second time penalty, but he's currently leading the race. But Andreas is in an excellent position because he's in second and he's on the medium, so he's going to go longer than any of these guys. Dan Murphy's got past Alan. Alan's pitted. That is what has happened. I'm afraid it's a lot less dramatic than I made it sound. Alan has pitted. I got trolled there from the leaderboard. Andreas has pulled that gap back from a second that Pillars was pulling out on Blaise to now 8/10. So this is a beautiful shot we're seeing now on stream of a helicopter from the helicopter view as these cars weave around these corners with Pillars in first, Andreas second, Blaise third, and look who's right behind him, Droftas. But Blaise just getting enough maybe from overtake and DRS because Droftas is not gaining enough on him. And he's surely too far back to do a lunge at the moment. We'll have to see his exit. He's also got Dan Murphy closing in on him, actually. Dan Murphy only 2 seconds behind. It was a decent exit from Droftas. Is this straight long enough, though, for him to make a move? No, it's not. But look how close Andreas has got to Pillars. He's right up his gearbox. Fatality and Energetics are battling. Fatality's got back past him. Sector 2, there's a yellow flag, and that is for Gio. I think he had a little bit of an incident. Andreas, who was 3/10 behind Pillars, perhaps Pillars has just turned everything up again because he's pulled that back to 6/10. Also, Fireshot Ryan closing up to Nolsey on that beautiful McLaren. I do like that addition to the Halo, the We Racers 1 Halo. I do like that with all the colours of the F1 teams.
Yeah.
As Droftas is in the pits. Droftas is in the pits. As Fatality gets yet another 3-second time penalty. What's he going to go on to? We're going to see now. It's going to be the medium tyre. So Droftas, the first of the big boys to pit. So that elevates Dan Murphy up to 4th. What an incredible drive this has been so far. He's up 11 positions. He started in 15th.
Looks like there's a bit of friction in the comments. A few comments saying, "Lo, I took you out." Okay, boss.
Well, I'm sure we'll see for real who was at fault for what in the incident. So hopefully those lads keep it in the incidents. So we see Droftas already really close up to Alan, and then we go. Andreas is gaining on Pillars. He's a bit too far away here, though, I think, to make a move. Although Pillars had a bit of a moment, actually. So I'm proven wrong. Andreas could go for the move here for the lead. He's going for it. He's going round the outside, and that is a really nice move from our championship leader. That is why he's the championship leader. He is first, and he's the first on the medium runners as well. Fatality and Energetics continuing their battle, continuing to switch places. I wish I could show it more, but there's so many battles at the front. And Andreas Pillars is still right up behind him. Droftas has got past Alan as well. Energetics and Fatality continuing their battle. But what we're interested in right now is the battle for the lead. Milan gets a 3-second time penalty. And that is Pillars going into the pits. Pillars is into the pits. So Andreas and Blaze is also... Yeah, that's 2 of the front runners into the pit lane then. Watch out for Droftas. I'll look on the pits. You watch out for Droftas, because let's see if Droftas has jumped him and the undercut has worked. Very quick pit stop there from Pillars. He hasn't been jumped by Blaze in the pit lane. No, he hasn't been jumped by Blaze.
Straight now.
Pillars now, so Droftas on the straight. Pillars now coming through this difficult pit lane exit from the tunnel. Where is Droftas? Droftas is ahead of them. Droftas is ahead of them both. The undercut has worked. So that will give some decent information to the other drivers. And who's that behind? That looked like Pillars and Milan. Pillars and Alan, sorry. Battling away. He's going to have a good run here. It is Pillars and Alan. Pillars will be frustrated. He's lost out to Droftas. Of course, he was ahead originally before the safety car, before the pit lane window. And he's got Alan in between him. And that's very frustrating. Alan has also jumped him in the pits. So good job from Alan. And Alan's very close behind Droftas. This is a big train at the moment. Nosey also now closing in on Farth. Not enough. Alan is too far. But I tell you who's not. It's Pillars. Pillars is going to go for the move. Ooh, and Alan holds on to it. Yeah, good driving from both of them there. Always risky, but both of them made sure there was no contact. Blaze and Milan also interested in this battle. Of course, Milan pitted very early. Very early indeed. We've got Dan Murphy in the pit lane. Dan Murphy is in the pit lane, elevating Farth and Knowlesy to second and third. Andreas, of course, on those mediums, won't have to pit for a while. Here comes Dan. He's into the pits. He's going on the medium tyres. Energetics moves up to P6 now. Will Droftas... Droftas is going to comfortably come out in front of Dan Murphy. In fact, this whole train is of Droftas, Alan, Pillars, Blaze and Milan, with Droftas currently leading that. But Alan holding on for dear life against Pillars at the moment. Pillars desperate to get a move on because he's lost out big in this pit window. Going for that wider entry. No, going for the closer to the apex, sorry, in the entry. Energetics, meanwhile, is got past Fatality again. These two love battling, don't they? Meanwhile, Pillars is now going to have a run at Alan just before the straight. He's going for it. He's going to go for the late break move. And he's made it stick. But tell you what, Alan's going to have some excellent traction here. And now he's going to have the DRS. And surely Alan's going to get him back. Up ahead, there's a battle in front between Farhad and Droftas has got through. And Alan has now gone back through. Alan, sorry, has got back through. And German's got through from Fatality, as Fatality had a moment there. So many battles on track. I'm really struggling to keep track as Droftas is now starting to pull away. And Farhad on those old mediums locking up there. Alan getting very nice and close. Pillars must be really frustrated. He's been stuck behind Alan.
Behind them as well. They've been waiting to make a big move here.
Yeah, you're right. Don't take out the pole sitter Blaze. And Pillars is going for a very unorthodox move. You don't usually see overtakes there. They're side by side. And still Alan is in front. What about to the first corners? We see Fireshot Ryan pitting. First corner, bit of wheel banging. Pillars, oh, he's lost it! And he was lucky not to lose more than a front wing. Alan gives him the position back. Maybe he felt like he was at fault there. I actually don't think he was, but very sportsmanship, very sportsing behaviour anyway. I don't think he was at fault there. What about you? Like, it looked like he just had an understeer and went into the side of Alan, and then Alan said, "Oh, sorry, that was my fault."
Maybe Alan even gave it back just as a tactic. But he has dropped back massively though.
I think he was trying to be sporting there, but I honestly don't think he was in the wrong. I think it was just unfortunate for Pillars. He had a massive load of understeer. Droftas is past Fatality. Knowlesy also passed Farth. Farhad and Pillars. Fatality is, he's made a big mistake there. That's elevated everyone. Now his Pillars on Farhad. Is he going to go in for another big dive bomb? He's surely too far back. He's going for it anyway. That's incredibly risky. And he's made it stick.
Oh, Blaze! Look at Blaze here.
Blaze is going down the inside now. There's a bit of banging there from both of them, but it looks like no damage. Unbelievable. And look at the Renault now of Farhad, who's being swamped. And the McLaren of Dan Murphy. This is a massive traffic jam here. Oh my goodness, they're 3 wide, for goodness sake. This is unbelievable. Alan now going through. Oh, I can't. I'm not even sure how to commentate on this. There's so much going on. Dan Murphy also looking for a potential move. Andreas now makes his first pit stop. The leader of the race on those mediums. Look how close this all is. As we see,
Jonathan Cox looking to overtake Alan here. Oh, contact there from Alan and Jonathan Cox.
Interesting to see. Look how close this pack is. Jonathan Cox, is he going to go for the move? No, looks like he's going to wait for the DRS zone. There's so many battles going on. Meanwhile, Droftas and German. German getting on energetics, and look at the move from Jonathan Cox. He's got it on Alan. No, they're side by side. This is an incredible battle. Meanwhile, German is going to make the move on energetics for P3. This is an incredible battle. That's not a great view. Dan Murphy thinking about the move, thinks better of it. Meanwhile, Jonathan Cox and Alan are going to go side by side. And it looks like Alan has just held the position, but this is incredibly close battling. Meanwhile, Energetics and Droftas. Droftas getting very close to Energetics there, but just missing out. Pillars is past. Andreas, that is really significant, because that is for the net race lead. Pillars is now in the net race lead. Andreas has got Blaze right behind him. Sorry, Droftas is in the net race lead. He is ahead of Pillars, and he's stuck behind Energetics. Then we got Pillars and Andreas very close to each other. I'm amazed that the racing we've seen, we haven't had more contact. It's been brilliant to see though as Farth pits.
Yeah.
Andreas now, as we get a lovely helicopter shot of this battle. We have a few other people pitting. Farhad also pits after getting involved in this battle. Andreas sticking to the back of Pillars' car, and Droftas also sticking to the back of Droftas' car, but Andreas is going to go for the move. He's going round the outside. He's made it stick. What a brilliant move that is. Meanwhile, Blaze is looking for a move on Pillars here, and look at Milan as well. This is incredible racing. I did say it'd be a good race, but my word, this is exceeding expectation. Droftas getting very close to Energetics. He's currently the net leader, and he's currently side by side with Energetics. As we see the new camera angle, Energetics has got the DRS. And it looks like Energetics is going to keep that place from Droftas. That'll be frustrating for Droftas. Energetics gone long on those medium tyres. Andreas obviously getting past Pillars, as we mentioned, followed by Blaze, and then Milan. And Blaze really closing up to Pillars here. Oh, and there's a big traffic jam. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a procession, except there are overtakes at least. But in terms of how close the cars are running to each other, unbelievable, these deltas.
They do make it entertaining, don't they?
They really do. It's a shame, as I say every week, it's a shame we don't have this in real life F1. The amount of overtakes we see in Division 1. But yeah, currently leading that train is Andreas, but close behind him.
Ooh, Pillars had a little contact with where the barriers are.
Just missed that. Meanwhile, Milan further back plays Pillars, Andreas, Droftas. Energetics is holding all of these guys up. Energetics we got to thank here, because he's bunching up all the people who are in contention for this race win together. Andreas is the closest on Droftas. Droftas, he's going to have to... Is he going to get past Energetics as well?
Ooh.
Andreas is going to get past Energetics. That is brilliant teamwork from Energetics, who's going to fight Droftas all the way. Droftas, though, is going to have the inside line for this next corner. Energetics not giving up, though. He's also got DRS. And they are, in the end, Energetics concedes the position. And that is Pillars and Energetics. And Pillars has got the move, and Energetics has gone wide. Surely Milan is going to get him. Oh, and who squeezed through the middle? That's Blaze. Blaze has lost it. Blaze has lost it. He's caused a huge crash. Oh, Jonathan Cox has now crossed it. Oh, my goodness. That's a safety car. Understandably so. Oh,
You
my.
know who this is going to benefit?
Total peace.
This, yeah.
He might be back in this race. Well, that was absolute chaos. It all started with Blaze losing it. Then he had contact after he came back on the track when he lost it. Everyone diving into the pits pretty much here. He had contact. Oh, Jonathan Cox just narrowly avoiding Fireshot Ryan. He had contact, and then yeah, Jonathan Cox had an incident with Fireshot Ryan as everyone comes into the pits, and the people who will lose out are those who are double stacking. So Milan is very frustrated. Where's that put Milan? That's put him P5 out the pits, at least for him. But yeah, Blaze is out of this race. The man on pole, you got to feel for him. When you're on pole, you're automatically pretty much favourite for the race. Or certainly one of them. So you got to feel for Blaze. He just lost it and came back onto track in that big collision. Not his fault, of course. He just lost the car and then crashed into other people. And yeah, so currently your race leader is Nolsey. He is leading from Andreas.
He benefited well from the safety car as well, didn't he?
Yeah, that came at the perfect time.
He was in need of a pit.
He was on old tyres, but that safety car is the biggest blessing in the world for him. As Pease goes into the pit lane now for fresh tyres. So yeah, Nolsey leads from Andreas, Droftas, Gernman, Milan, Dan Murphy, Farhad, Pillars down in 8th now, Alan 9th, Jonathan Cox also involved in that crash, down in 10th, and Gio's been elevated to 11th on those hard tyres, still yet to pit. Someone who lost out from that is Energetics though. He's down in 14th.
Dropped massively.
Yeah, I think he was also, he may have had some damage or something.
He'd have been on a double stack as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah, double stack obviously would have impacted. P's now finally out the pit lane as he looks to chase down the safety car before it goes in. But yeah, we've had our first big collision of the race. Just unfortunate. A lot of cars were caught up in that.
Energetic saying he didn't see it properly. Maybe it was him. He was trying to avoid Milan. Then it was 3 wide.
No, it didn't look like there was contact, to be honest.
Racing incident.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was contact, to be honest. Hilke. It looked like Blaze just lost it after sneaking through. There might have been contact. I might be wrong. We only had it on board from him. Well, understandably not.
3 into 1 corner doesn't work.
Yeah, Blaze did go for that opportunistic move, and Nolsey comes into the pits now, so he pits from the lead. Andreas now leads, and look at the battle we've got for the lead between Andreas and Droftas. 1st and 2nd in the championship, separated by a point.
Energetic's pitting again.
Yeah, I'm very confused by that.
Not happy about the tyres he's on, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. No, he's gone on to more softs. I don't understand that decision at all.
I don't either.
But as I was about to say, we've got 1st and 2nd in the championship. 1st and 2nd, with the gap being 1 point. So this is going to get spicy, because this is for the championship. These two drivers.
He's really might catch up here before the safety car ends, might he?
Yeah, he might. Energetics, you were fine. It wasn't your fault that it was 3 wide. Why did you pit again? I'm interested to know about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in.
What's happened here? Farth has lost fatality in Farth. Oh, there's been a collision. Fireshot Ryan's got a 5-second penalty. There's been a collision between a load of people under the safety car. That's very frustrating. Not quite as dramatic as the Mugello crash under the safety car, but a clash under the safety car nonetheless. And Gio gets a 5-second penalty for gaining a place under the safety car on Farth. What do you think of the safety car with obviously that new livery of the We Racers 1?
I like it.
Yeah, it looks quite pretty.
I do like it.
But yeah, we are set up for a
Energetics
monster.
wanted mediums.
But then he went onto the softs again.
Maybe it was just a error on the game, because that does happen, doesn't it?
Yeah, true. Or maybe he has no
times.
mediums available, and he didn't realise because they put him on the softs again. But as I say, when we do have the safety car restart, hold on to your horses, because Andreas and Droftas first and second in the championship, separated by a point. Whoever wins this race out of these two, if it finishes as it is, Andreas extends his championship lead. But if Droftas wins, he then takes over the championship lead from Andreas. So we're set up very nicely.
Energetic saying it's Jeff.
He's pitting again a third time.
He's still got time to.
He's finally got the mediums. He's finally got the mediums. Total P's has caught up to everyone under the safety car, I'm pleased to tell you.
Do you reckon he has a good go at getting into the points here?
Well, yeah, the grid's reset. He's got a great chance of getting into the points. If he can stay out of incidents, he has got a shot at getting points, which is crucial for the title, considering that Andreas and Droftas are currently in first and second. He needs to at least get some points on the board, otherwise he could be out of it. Also worth noting, Dan Murphy started 15th up to 5th. Been really good run for him. And I imagine the safety car will be in this lap. And we've got a variation in strategy, mainly mediums and hards, but we've got a few soft runners in German and Nosey.
Yeah.
Gio still hasn't pitted. Gio still hasn't pitted as well in 14th. Safety car in this lap. There's the confirmation on the screen from race control. How will Andreas play this restart then? Let's not have a Mugello here, boys. Let's not have a massive pile-up. Not have a Bottas restart, please. I'd like to keep it clean. Andreas warming up his tyres. Droftas will be hoping to get the jump on him nice and early. But Andreas will ultimately be controlling the pace as the safety car goes in. Currently, the safety car's not even in yet. He's going quite quickly. I presume he'll slow it up quite significantly now. Yeah, he's slowing up the pack now. He's not bolting yet. And look at German lurking. German got didn't particularly get a great qualifying, but he's lurking now. And we wait for Andreas to bolt. And Andreas still not going. He's leaving this very late. He has every right to. Andreas now goes from Droftas. This is a great view actually from helicopter. Droftas has got a good run on him already. Of course, DRS not available for the first 3 laps. Meanwhile, Pillars is side by side with Farhad. Pease has also gained a place on Gio. Oh, there's contact between Farhad and Pillars. So Farhad loses another position because of that contact. He did well to save it. Energetics up a position as well on Gio. Pease already making position, so he'll be happy with that. And look at this. Andreas and Droftas are side by side. Andreas defends very aggressively. Jonathan Cox also made up a position. Droftas now has got an amazing run. Look how close he is. No DRS, of course. This is all about slipstream. This is all about overtake. And Droftas is into the lead. And is German also going to get an amazing slipstream? Well, I'll tell you who Andreas is going to have that slipstream back. And Milan right behind him. That is the great thing about safety cars. They do bunch up the grid so massively. And it resets everything. And Dan Murphy taking an interesting line through there. But I'll tell you what, it's working. Are we going to see any moves into this corner? Doesn't look like it, not from the front lot anyway. But I'll tell you who we might see it from. Farhad
overtaken on Nosey.
Yeah, Milan gets a 3-second penalty. That's frustrating for him. Nosey gets back through on Farhad. Droftas has now pulled out a 1.2 second lead on Andreas.
He's not looking on a move for
Oh, German now gets past Andreas. Andreas has had an issue, or something. He's made a mistake because he's lost 2 positions. Milan's into P3, German into P2, and that's huge news for the championship because Droftas in P1, he would get a significant advantage on Andreas with the gap only being 1 point. That will put Droftas in the driving seat for the next race. Dan Murphy now looking to have a go.
He's with a nice move from Farhad.
And that's good to see. Pease climbing further up the field. Meanwhile, Dan Murphy gets past Andreas. Andreas having a terrible restart. Now Pillars is all over the back of him. Pillars is going to have a go. Andreas is going slowly. He hasn't got wing damage. I'm not sure what is going on. He hasn't got wing damage from what I can see. Airlan has now got past him. There's now the Renault of Jonathan Cox also getting past him. Well, they're side by side. What on earth has happened to Andreas? Absolute disaster for him. It might get worse. Fire shot Ryan looking for a move in that McLaren. He thinks better of it. But for now, Andreas all the way down in P8. Absolute nightmare of a start. But I tell you what, the perfect restart for Droftas. He's now 1.5 seconds clear, 1.6 seconds clear at the top. Followed by Gurman, Milan and Dan Murphy. Dan Murphy having an unbelievable race, as we mentioned, from P15. And as you mentioned, P's now up to P12 and closing in on Knowlesy. So P's definitely in a good shout of points here. He can certainly sense it.
He's really recovered. 10 laps to go as well.
Fire shot Ryan looking to make a move on Andreas. He's almost going to get front wing damage if he's not careful. He's so close behind him. And also lurking behind him is F1 Farth in that racing point. We ride on board with Fire shot Ryan. This is the closest battle on track. Well, these three actually. As Pease goes wide and Fire shot Ryan pits. So that's some breathing space for Andreas. And Pease is elevating another position into P11. And look at this train he's behind. Fire shot's retired in the pits. Pease nearly getting front wing damage almost. He's braking so late. With Knowlesy just underestimating how early he was going to brake. And Farth is looking very racy on Andreas. As it gets... And I tell you what, something's happened to Droftas. Well, something's happened to Andreas because he dropped another 3 positions. But something has happened to our leader because the gap's gone from 1.6 seconds to 8 tenths. Unless that was just purely a mistake. As we see Jonathan Cox now, he moves into P6. Knowlesy also getting past Farth. Is P's going to be close enough to get it go? He's going for it. He's going round the outside. That's ambitious. He throws the arm up. There was a tiny bit of wheel banging. That's really risky.
Ooh.
Yeah, you had to back up for me. That was incredibly risky from Pease. Luckily, he doesn't get any damage, though. And he is still in the points as it stands. Andreas out of the points. I would be fascinated to know from him what happened. But at this rate, we're not going to know because he's not going to be on the podium. Meanwhile, who might be on the podium? Dan Murphy. Milan's gone off. Milan has gone off. He was in P3. He's braked too late. Dan Murphy is onto the podium as it stands, and Pillars is also through. Oh my goodness, we're seeing a lot of big mistakes from a lot of big drivers here. Meanwhile, the gap at the top, down to 6 tenths. Gurman, of course, on those soft tyres, but surely he's not going to be able to take them to the end. We'll have to see. Jonathan Cox close behind Milan. Milan looks like he's going into the pit. Has he got damage? We're trying to see if he has damage. We'll see if he has a wing change. He's retired. He's given up. Pease, meanwhile, who didn't retire after that horrific first lap crash, is now in the points. So maybe a lesson to some to never give up. What is Andreas doing in the pits? He is going in for a change. He's not giving up, hopefully. Infamous Pillars. He's going on for the softs. Good to see he's not giving up. He's held up a bit in the pits, though. And I tell you what, that gap at the top is really coming down. 5 tenths now. Gurman, as I said, if he can get these softs... Oh, to be fair, these soft tyres could potentially go to the end. If he can manage them. First, he's got to get past Droftas. Total P's getting on Farth. Knowlesy also getting on Airline. He's too far back. Looks like Total P's will be as well. We'll keep an eye on this battle. Knowlesy gaining on Airline. I probably am butchering your name. I do apologise if I am. It's not intentional.
Is Gio not pitted yet?
Gio still hasn't pitted. He's done 19 laps on hard. It's quite impressive. Although it hasn't brought in much. Knowlesy getting through on Alan in the end. Very nice move without DRS. But Alan's coming back at him. But Knowlesy will hold it for now. P's dropped a bit back from Farth, but that's okay. He's not in the overtaking area now. Energetics also gaining up on Fatality on those fresh tyres. And with only 14 finishers at the moment, any of those 14 are definitely on for points. Those 4 of the 14 that are outside the points are on for points, if you ask me. There's still a good chance of them to do so. So closest battle on track at the moment, Jonathan Cox and Infamous Pillars. This is for P4. We're keeping an eye on other battles because it's still close between Total Peas and Farth, and Energetics and Fatality. Oh, getting very deep there. Pillars, I think, cut the corner, hitting the bollard there. And Jonathan Cox, can he have a good exit? We'll see. Gio is finally... He has finally pitted, by the way. Gio has finally pitted after bringing those almost 20 laps. Total Peas getting close as well to Farth. Jonathan Cox, Pillars defends. Jonathan Cox is going to have to go from the outside or the switchback. Pillars goes deep. Jonathan Cox is being pushed off the track pretty much from Pillars. Very hard racing between the two, but he's going to have a run on him. Jonathan Cox. Oh, that's a bit of a late move there from Pillars.
Farth looking to overtake on Alan here. He's done it.
Farth has got through, and Peas will be frustrated with that because he was getting on Farth. But now he's got through. He's got through Alan, so maybe he won't be as frustrated. He's in P8, and it's actually very close, all up the field. The biggest gap at the moment between Dan Murphy and Pillars. Look how close behind Jonathan Cox is to Pillars. Pillars did move slightly late on that straight for me, in my opinion, but Jonathan Cox has got himself another penalty. That's not going to help him at all. He goes very wide there. He's got himself another time penalty, 2 in a row.
That's not what you want.
Peas is retired.
Oh, Peas is out.
He's binned it. Look at that car. He's binned it completely.
Oh,
virtual safety car, and what looked like such a good recovery race has now ended in real disappointment for Peas. He did so well to recover to get back into P8, and he was looking like he was on for some solid points despite that first lap incident. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. I'm not sure if there was contact. I guess we'll find out at some point whether there was contact or if it was just driver error and he spun it. But unfortunately, we're down to 13 and we are under the virtual safety car. Gutting for Peas then, as as we say, such a good recovery race. He didn't give up though, so I'll give him respect for that. DRS is finally now enabled. Enabled again after the VSC ends. And I tell you what, the VSC has benefited Droftas. He's gained time on German under the VSC, so that's definitely worked in favour for him. Meanwhile, Nolsey, Farth, Elan, Fatality, and I tell you what, that crash from Peas has promoted this man, Energetics, into the points.
I'm sure he'll be happy about that.
Nolsey getting very up close and personal to Jonathan Cox here. Jonathan Cox, who looked like he was about to overtake Pillars, but I think the virtual safety car has done him dirty, to quote a certain Cameron. German with a 3-second time penalty. He's in P2. That might be the difference between the win and second place, or second place and third. We're not really sure. The penalty situation, to be honest, at the moment. Jonathan Cox is now closing up again to Pillars. As we go into the final 5 laps, and they have flown by.
They really have. They really have.
And we've had so much wheel-to-wheel action. Jonathan Cox needs to be careful not to get disqualified, the amount of 3-second penalties he's getting at the moment. He just got a warning there, clearly, as there was no penalty on screen. I wonder, perhaps that virtual safety car has robbed German's chance for victory because his softs appear to be going off because he's not gaining time on Droftas. In fact, he's losing time. Meanwhile, Jonathan Cox is gaining time and gaining on infamous Pillars. Is he going to go for the move? He's not. He's going to wait for the next DRS zone. Yeah, getting very close there, nearly damaging his wing.
Too comfy there, wasn't it?
Yeah, very comfy. And he's been behind infamous Pillars now for quite a few laps, very close. He's really getting close to that gearbox before making the move. Pillars brakes unbelievably late. He's going to go very wide and be very slow out of that corner. But Jonathan Cox still can't make it past. Farth gets a 3-second time penalty. I cannot imagine the frustration in Jonathan Cox, Cox's cockpit at the moment. As Nolsey is also gaining on Jonathan Cox because Jonathan Cox is being held up so much by Pillars. So this is the closest battle at the moment. This battle for P4 it is, and it goes down to P6. That's a really bad exit from Jonathan Cox, and he gets him. He must be on double digits now for penalties. Yeah, that might put him out of the points, to be honest, or certainly near out the points. Farth has joined the party of this train behind Pillars. So Farth is now involved in this. And I think a lot of these penalties are coming from Jonathan Cox's frustration behind pillars, not being able to make it past.
Yeah, trying to find their way past and just...
Farhad does the fastest lap. He's in P11, so if he can get into the points, he will have the fastest lap points. No, he won't. Andreas has done the fastest lap. He's on those soft tyres, but he needs to get in the points as well. Oh, this will be gutting for Andreas. The only consolation for Total P's is the fact that Andreas seems to have obviously had a... Man, was there contact? No, there was, but there's no damage by the looks of it. Pillars, and they're three wide. That's not going to work, lads. That's not going to work. And Farth comes through. That was never going to work. That was silly. That was very silly indeed.
Never 3 wide corner.
You can't go 3 wide there. That's just... It's common sense. Oh dear. We've seen some. I don't know whose car it was off. I think pretty much all of them got the wing damage, but we've seen some excellent racing today. Unfortunately, we've seen some bad racing with incidents like that where people just need to learn to back out. Meanwhile, we now have the closest battle on track after that incident between Dan Murphy and Gurman, and this is for P2. I haven't seen... I think Dan Murphy's... I think these two are on a penalty each, but don't quote me on that as it stands. And I wonder what the comments are saying about that crash, because that was... It was frustrating to commentate on, I'm not going to lie, as Knowlesy, Jonathan Cox and all them get into the pits, and that will promote Andreas, I think, into the points. It will. Jonathan Cox has retired. He's had enough. He will be fuming with that crash. One of them had to back out.
Getting a wing change.
I'll have to watch it back before I attribute any blame, but one of them had to back out there. 3 wide never works. And we now
in the points.
We are now down to 12 finishers. Yeah, Farhad in the points and Andreas in the points. He's got that fastest lap point as well, so he'll be getting 2 points. Dan Murphy, that was a terrible camera angle. I do apologise for that overtake by Dan Murphy on Gurman. It was a simple DRS overtake, but it wasn't good enough, I know, for me, because... yeah, I don't know why that was the camera view. Very frustrating. But Dan Murphy is through into P2. But this is an excellent result for Droftas at the moment. Andreas down in P10, only 2 points. Droftas winning, and Total P's out of the race. This will put Droftas as the championship leader as it stands. Gurman looking to come back at Dan Murphy, but he is on those old softs, and I think they are starting to die as Alan gets a time penalty. Energetics closing on Fatality. These two have been battling the whole way through. It's been a very good debut, actually, from Fatality. He's kept it clean. He's had some good battles, mainly with Energetics.
Jonathan Cox saying idiot seriously got sandwiched.
Yeah, it did look a bit of a sandwich. 3 wide
Waller
there.
saying he would have waited for DRS. 2 is possible, but that move is not with 3.
Yeah, 2 is possible there. But as soon as you saw 3, as soon as I saw 3, I said this is not going to end well.
Yeah.
I'm rarely right, but I thought I was going to be right on that occasion. Unfortunately, I was. So this is the closest battle on track at the moment. Energetics and Fatality. These two battled the entire race. And this is going to be some solid points on his debut for Fatality as it stands. He impressed so much in Division 2 that he was considered for Division 1, and now he's been given his full-time seat. And he's certainly not putting that debut to waste at the moment. Although Energetics is closing on him. Dan Murphy's starting to pull away a bit from Gurman now. Those soft tyres he's done 11 laps on. He's done really well to go that far. Can Gurman, I wonder, cling on to that podium? He's just got to hope he doesn't get a puncture or his tyres go completely. Energetics now having a run at Fatality. Trying to go round the outside. See, 2 wide here is possible. He's locked up a bit. 2 wide here is possible. 3 wide isn't. Energetics side by side. He's done the move, but for how long? Because Fatality's coming back.
Fatality, does he have DRS there?
We'll see. Yeah, he does. He had DRS. Fatality had the DRS, and that was what enabled him to ultimately stay ahead of Energetics. And I'm sure this battle is going to go to the last lap. Meanwhile, Alan is only 3/10 behind Infamous Pillars for this 5th place. Pillars will be a bit frustrated. He obviously looked like he was on for a much better result. Got caught in some battles and perhaps just got a bit unlucky. Alan's done. He switched to the hard tyres, same tyre tyre deg probably as Pillars. They're on the same amount of laps anyway. So we ride on board with Elan. Energetics and Fatality still the closest battle on track, and Droftas now 4 seconds clear of Dan Murphy at the moment. And German, I tell you what, German's dropping back a lot. Far, if he pushes, could probably smell a podium. Maybe a bit too far back.
If Pullers has a full wing or if it's damaged. Pretty sure he has a full wing.
Energetics got past Fatality crucially before the DRS. Will he have DRS or will Fatality have DRS? We're going to see the front wing open. The wing opens for Energetics. He will have DRS whilst Fatality doesn't. That should be enough to keep him ahead. I will see if Pillars has got front wing damage. He's trying to go for a move at the moment because he has been passed by Elan. It looks like he's got his full front wing. As German gets a 3-second time penalty, that might put him off the podium. We'll have to see penalties-wise. But yeah, it doesn't like Pillars has damage, to answer your question. Fatality now sticking with Energetics. These two just can't get enough of each other. I think they should go on a date after this race, I really do.
That would be something else.
It really would. So, as it stands, Droftas, we're on to the final lap. It's a good thing I noticed that. We're on to the final lap already. Droftas is leading. We will go to him towards the end of the lap as he crosses the line, which he surely will in first place as it stands. Pillars behind Elan trying to catch him. As we saw, doesn't look like he has any wing damage. Or if he does, it's very light. But Elan has got past him. Fatality is now going to have Farhad to deal with. And yeah, it looks like this is the battle. Andreas is joining this battle as well for the final point positions. This is going up all the way to P7. Fatality looks like he might get swamped by Farhad, or will he or will Energetics get swamped? Energetics moves quite dramatically to the left-hand side of the track, and oh my goodness, look at Farhad sailing through. Farhad going side by side, big lock-up, but he's making it work, and he's done the move on Fatality and Energetics, and that's Farhad up to P7. Unbelievable driving. Here comes Energetics now. He's got DRS, so has Fatality. Energetics on the final lap is going to get him. Meanwhile, we're going to switch to Droftas, because even though he hasn't had much airtime, he has controlled the race since the safety car restart. Getting past Andreas, he wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Dan Murphy comes home in second. I wonder if German will hold that podium position. And it, yeah, rightly saying in comments, it was a nice overtake by Farhad. Really nice double overtake. German, will he hold on? He will hold on to that podium. No, he won't. Elan leapfrogs them both with penalties. Oh my goodness. Now Farhad looking to come forward. That brilliant double overtake right at the depth. Has he got 7th place? He has. And Energetic's been relegated. Fatality all the way down to... No, Fatality misses out on points because of penalties. Andreas up to P8.
Up to 8th.
Yeah, and Gio is now going to come across... Going to be the last one to cross the line. And oh my goodness, what a race. 12 finishers out of the 19 starters. We've had a lot of great overtakes. We've had a lot of not so great overtakes, resulting in some pretty embarrassing collisions that I'm sure incidents will have a lot of reports. But either way, that is the conclusion of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We're just going to wait for the final classification, which I'll read out to you. And driver of the day, Dan Murphy, because he went from P15 to P2. And I don't think you're going to see a more deserved driver of the day than that, to be honest.
It was a brilliant drive.
Yeah, and he'll rightfully be on that podium. And I will now work on inviting them in a second. I'll wait till we get the official standings before I invite people. But yeah, Droftas with an amazing win. Dan Murphy in second and Elan in third. Unfortunately, I'm not sure. We'll try and get Elan in the party, but I don't have him, so I will have to try and find him. But oh, you're the. I will suggest these players for you as you are the party host. So, Droftas first as our race winner, and then we have Dan Murphy. who is appearing offline. Oh wait, do I not? I don't have him as a friend. Okay, we'll just invite Droftus for now. I'll suggest Dan Murphy. And we will try and get... How do you spell his name? Alan. Droftas joins the party. How do you spell his name, Cameron? Oh, cheers. Yeah, if you could invite all suggested, Cameron. Well, we'll start with you then, Droftas, as you are the race winner for today. An absolutely unbelievable race. I mean, there was just so much action, and really for you, it sort of all came alive, didn't it, after that safety car restart? Yeah, you seemed to control it from then on. You just vanished into the distance. A really good drive. And of course, that puts you top of the championship now. So, yeah, congratulations. You're now our championship leader. Andreas has been for quite a while, but yeah, you now overtaken him. The gap was a point, but it'll be a bit more now because Andreas got 8th in the end. But congratulations on your victory. We'll now go to... who have you got on the part? If you got Dan in next? No, we haven't got Dan in yet, so we will we'll talk to Alan. Congratulations on a podium finish. We weren't expecting that. That seemed to be on penalties, but either way, a brilliant drive anyway. And you kept it clean. You got the podium. Yeah, we did wonder if that was we did suspect that you let him by earlier in the race. I think when you were running P3 and he was running P4, that little swap. So good teamwork there, and certainly helped his championship there. But yeah, no, a really good race from you. You were involved in quite a few battles as well, and although you got the podium on penalties, as I say, you had some really good battles in there. You had battles with pillars right at the end. You had a few others in the midfield, so hopefully an enjoyable race for you anyway. Yeah, it was so bunched up, especially after the safety car restart. There was so many battles going on. But yeah, congratulations on a podium finish. And yeah, really good race from you. Right, well, thank you, Cameron, for co-commentating that race. It was quite an eventful one for your debut.
I loved it.
But I think you did well. And yeah, I'll be interested. I'll certainly be looking through incidents because I'll be quite interested to see, because obviously the stream didn't pick up everything of what happened. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching.
What happened with Peas as well.
Yeah, right at the start.
The very first.
Yeah, we did.
Peas and Young Lights.
We caught the end of it, but we didn't see the start of it, so that will be interesting to see. But anyway, thank you everyone for watching. And yeah, that was the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and it's been another great one. So thank you for watching, goodbye, and see you next week.